What's going on, YouTube? It's been a long journey, but today I bring you my official and final 2021 NFL mock draft. Thank you guys for taking me through this journey. In the time in this last year, if you've subscribed to the channel, I want to thank you tremendously. We're going to remember this number. We're at 375 subscribers right now. By this time next year, let's see where we're at then. But for now, let's focus on our 2021 NFL mock draft. Getting us started, we have the man of the class right here. Trevor Lawrence is going to go number 1 to the Jaguars. I'm not going to take much time to explain it. Trevor Lawrence is the best prospect that I've ever scouted personally, because I didn't scout John Elway or Andrew Luck. But Trevor Lawrence is an amazing product, and he is number 1. Number 2, it's the same story here. Zach Wilson is an incredible quarterback. His mobility and his arm strength are just fantastic. If the Jets wanted Deshaun Watson, they get him here because this guy's literally Deshaun Watson 2.0. Zach Wilson is an amazing quarterback, and he's going number 2. Number 3, I don't know why there's controversy at this pick. There's reports claiming that the pick here is either Trey Lance or Mac Jones. That doesn't make any sense. You do not trade your entire future to get a boomer bust the biggest boomer bust player in the class, or a safe player. If you're Shanahan and you're going for a system quarterback with a big upside, there's no other better fit than Justin Fields here. The dude fits a Shanahan offense, in my opinion, the best out of any of those 3 guys, and is easily the guy you would trade up for to pick. You don't trade your future like that for Mac Jones. The pick is Justin Fields. Don't let anyone tell you different. Then at number 4, the Falcons. This is a mock pick that I have yet to make, actually, but I'm very, very confident in this. Kyle Pitts, I believe, is the pick here. There are a plethora of different ways they can go here. They can trade down. They can take Penei Sewell. I mean, heck, it's seeming very likely they trade Julio Jones after the draft, so they could even go Jamar Chase here. But I think Kyle Pitts is the right pick. This dude is potentially, the best prospect in this class, and that's considering you have Trevor Lawrence in the class. Kyle Pitts, I think, could be the best tight end of all time, and he does not just play like a tight end. I mean, this dude's the most versatile receiving weapon I've ever seen. His size is incredible. He is all around maybe the best prospect in this class. Kyle Pitts is incredible, and since 1970, actually, in the top 10 picks, the number 4 pick has had the most Hall of Famers. And if I had to put my money on any of these top 10 players to be a Hall of Famer, my money would be on Kyle Pitts. I think it's the right pick here for Atlanta, who's trying to win now, even though they're the 4th pick. Then at number 5, we have the Bengals, and I understand why people think Jamar Chase could go here. Burrow's campaigning for it, former LSU teammates. I get it. But they already have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. Well, you know what they don't have? An offensive lineman. And Penei Sewell, sort of like Trevor Lawrence, sort of Kyle Pitts, can be the best player in this class and one of the best players of all time. He's a bit raw, but Penei Sewell is just such an amazing tackle. He is probably the most athletic tackle you're ever going to see coming out of college. The dude is an incredible talent, and I get why maybe they want to go for wide receiver here, but they need offensive line help. If you think Riley Reif on a 1-year contract is setting you up for the future, you're just stupid. I'm sorry. Penei Sewell might not be the pick here. It honestly could be Jamar Chase, but Penei Sewell is the right pick here. Then moving on to number 6, the Dolphins. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have our first trade because here at number 4, or here at number 6, the Dolphins have a few guys they can take. It makes sense to maybe just take Jamar Chase, but realistically, they would not fret at all at getting Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith later down because, Tua, Alabama, obviously these 2 Alabama. And while Jamar Chase is easily the best receiver in this class for me, why not trade down and get some more draft picks when, you've got 2 quarterbacks on the board that a lot of teams are really wanting right now. And the team that I think the Dolphins are going to be trading with is the Broncos. I think the Broncos are going to move up here, and in this trade, the Broncos are going to give Miami this year's first. Obviously, they're going to swap picks, as well as a third and fourth next year and the 152nd pick. Okay, well, Miami's going to decline that apparently. Here, let's do it the other way, because for some reason it doesn't just let me do picks. It doesn't just let me say this is the trade. Declined again. Well, let me get this to go through really quick, guys, and I'll be right back to you. Okay, and we're back. Broncos move up to number 6 here, and they're, of course, moving up to take Trey Lance. Now, this is a pick that I have been very vocal that I would personally hate if this happened. But the more I've started thinking about it, the more it does make sense. If he slips to 6, you move up for not a ton of draft capital lost, but the Broncos are a quarterback away from contention, and there's 2 outcomes to this, really, unless you just get super unfortunate. Either Trey Lance lights a fire under Locke and he finally performs, or, and in that case scenario, you get Trey Lance as a good trade piece, or Locke fails and then Lance works out for you sometime down the road. I mean, regardless, more than likely the Broncos are getting their quarterback of the future with it. It makes sense. They're a quarterback away from contention, so the Broncos move up to number 6 here to take Trey Lance. Then at number 7, the Lions get probably the best receiver in this class, Ja'Marr Chase, to fall to them. Yeah, they're in Detroit. He goes in as probably the number 1 guy, maybe the number 2 under Tyrell Williams. He's there to make work, and the Lions need a receiver pretty badly. In my opinion, Ja'Marr Chase is the best guy in the class. However, it could be a Henry Ruggs type situation where it could be a surprise to us all, and maybe Jalen Waddle goes first, but I see Ja'Marr Chase going here first. Then at number 8 with the Panthers. The Panthers have some options they can go here. Jalen Waddle makes a ton of sense. They lost Curtis Samuel. Rashawn Slater is still here, right? There's a lot of picks that make a lot of sense here. But I think that the Panthers can pick up some really good trade value and move down maybe a considerable amount of picks, but they have their eyes on a certain guy. So I am going to have the Panthers trading down with the Cardinals. And the Cardinals are going to give up a fair amount of draft capital here, as you can see. But, I think that it's a good move here. Okay, of course. Yeah, let me get this to go through. Okay, and so we have the Cardinals moving up here to number 8, and they move up here to take Jalen Waddle. Apparently, the Cardinals really, really want a receiver, and I feel like Jalen Waddle would fit tremendously well on the team. Now you have an amazing passing unit there with DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Jalen Waddle, and some very good depth pieces. Larry Fitzgerald, if he comes back for another year. Jalen Waddle makes a lot of sense here, and the Cardinals don't give up, any more of their draft capital this year. A little bit of next year, a third and a fourth, but they move up here to get a very, very good receiver and help Kyler Murray out just a bit more with that offense. Then at number 9, we have the Dolphins again. They moved down from 6, obviously. But the Dolphins here, and the Dolphins have 2 picks that make a lot of sense here. You have Devontae Smith, who, they traded down, probably eyeing this guy as Tua's, former teammate and stuff. But you also have Rashawn Slater, and the Dolphins could use some offensive line help. And Slater is very, very versatile. So it makes a lot of sense here for the Dolphins. And I'm going to go with Rashawn Slater. I think they'd really like that pick. It hurts them to pass up on Devontae Smith, but Slater makes a lot of sense here for the Dolphins. So then at number 10, I'm not even going to talk about this one. It's such an easy pick. If Patrick Surtain is there at number 10 for the Cowboys, they're going to make it. Pair him back up with Trevon Diggs. Amazing corner duo, and Patrick Surtain is a fantastic corner. Then at number 11, we have the Giants, who have apparently been very open to trading down, and I'm going to have them doing that. I know Devontae Smith is on the board. I know there's a few guys they really love, but they can gain some draft capital here, and I think after missing out on Devontae Smith, they're going to be like, crap, we shouldn't have taken Rashawn Slater. And they're going to trade back up here to number 11. And in this case, they're going to give away their 156th as well as next year's second and a fifth. And let's see if that goes through. No, of course not. Let me get it to go through, you guys. Okay, so the Dolphins move back up here to take Devontae Smith, pair him back up with Tua Tagovailoa. I think he makes sense for that offense. You know, they kind of already have that true number one in Devontae Parker and and then obviously Will Fuller if he stays healthy. So I think Devontae Smith makes a lot of sense as that number 3 piece. They had 2 very good offensive weapons here to make that offense much better. And Tua's got himself some weapons now, so. Then at number 12, we have the Eagles, and they're going to stay put here and take the best corner available at this point in J.C. Horn. No receivers fell to them, which is a little unfortunate, but they get a very, very talented corner here in J.C. Horn. So I think he's a really good fit there with the Eagles, and they could use some corner help pretty badly. Then at 13, we have the Chargers, who stay put and still get, in my opinion, the second best tackle in this class with Christian Darrisaw. Such an amazingly powerful player, yet so agile, very quick with his feet. Christian Darrisaw is an amazing tackle, and slotting him right there at that left tackle spot is great for the Chargers and Justin Herbert. Then at 14 with the Vikings. Vikings have a few different directions they can go here. However, I think they're eyeing a player, and Mac Jones is still here. And with the Patriots coming up, I think some team is going to want to jump in front of that. So I would normally trade this to the Bears. I think the Bears would be really willing to jump up here for Mac Jones, but obviously division rivals. So the Vikings are going to be trading with Washington to jump up here and grab Mac Jones, obviously. So in this case, Minnesota's also going to get a second rounder as well as next year 5th rounder, and that actually worked somehow. Washington doesn't give up any draft capital this year, a little bit next year, to move up and take their future franchise quarterback in Mac Jones. Maybe a move that not a lot of Washington fans like. However, Ryan Fitzpatrick is only there for a year. I think if you give Mac Jones a year under Ryan Fitzpatrick, give him a veteran to learn some stuff from, Mac Jones could come in and probably be better than Ryan Fitzpatrick year 2. And at that point, that team's ready to go in to Super Bowl mode, because this is a team that, they don't need an elite quarterback to win. Their roster is so good beyond the quarterback. They can improve the wide receiver maybe a little bit more and the offensive line a bit more. And Washington has a very scary team at that point. Then at 15, the Patriots. Mac Jones does not fall to them. However, I don't think they'd take him even if he did fall. In this case, I think they're going to take an amazing linebacker in Micah Parsons, who is an incredible talent, has a little bit of character concerns. However, I think Bill Belichick would absolutely love to have a guy like this on his defense. If he wants to use him at linebacker or as that edge player, since they don't have an elite edge threat, I think Bill Belichick would use him exactly perfectly, and he'd be a game changer on that defense. Then at number 16, the Panthers, after trading down, trade down and could, get a few good players here. Obviously, JOK, Christian Barmore, but I really like Greg Newsome on the Panthers. I mean, the idea of having him back there across from AJ Boye and then eventually him being the number 1, I really like that. Greg Newsome is a fantastic corner. He's my number 3 in the class. So I really like him. I think he's going to go a lot higher than people expect. And so here, number 16 is the Panthers. I really like. Then number 17 with the Raiders. This pick's been the same for a while. But I think I'm a lot higher on Elijah Vera-Tucker than a lot of other people, but I really love his versatility, and the Raiders really need some offensive line help right now. I think he feels like a Raider as well. I know, Gruden likes his big go-get-em guys, so Cosmi and Jenkins make sense, but I think Vera-Tucker's the pick here because of his versatility. And again, he just comes off as a Raider to me. Then at 18, we have the Giants, who traded down with the Dolphins earlier, and they trade down, but they have no problem getting perhaps the best edge rusher in the class in Kwity Paye. An amazing scheme fit for the Giants. Getting him here at 18 after trading down is tremendous value for them. He'd be amazing across from Leonard Williams, so that's a really nice piece to add there for the Giants. Then at 19, Vikings moved down, and it may seem like Kwity Paye was maybe the guy they had in mind. However, they trade down and still get the guy they were eyeing in Jayson Oweh. Jayson Oweh, to me, is like one of those perfect fit prospects. The Vikings love their athletic defensive ends. That's exactly what they went for when they drafted Danielle Hunter. And I think, with the Danielle Hunter trade rumors and everything, I don't know if he actually will be traded, but regardless, getting a potential replacement for him or someone to go across from him makes a ton of sense. And the Vikings trade down and still get their guy here. I don't know if they might have actually taken away over Paye, even if Paye wasn't taken there. So Oweh here at the Vikings, very good pick for them. Then at number 20 with the Bears, no quarterbacks fall to them. And while tackle does make sense, I'm starting to feel wide receiver for them a lot. And I think Rashad Bateman is a great fit on that Bears offense. They kept Allen Robinson around for at least one more year. And, with Darnell Mooney and now adding Rashad Bateman, you go to one of the best receiving cores in the NFL. You give Andy Dalton something to work with. It makes a lot of sense here for the Bears. And I think Rashad Bateman just is a really, really good fit in that offense. So I really like him here to the Bears. Then in 21, we have the Colts. And this pick, I can't vary from this. Samuel Cosmi makes too much sense here. Apparently, the Colts have never taken a first-round offensive lineman that didn't have, I believe, a 9 or higher raw score. And Samuel Cosmi had a 9.99, one of the best tackle scores in the last 50 years. Besides Spencer Brown, who was the number one and most athletic tackle in this class, he's the most athletic tackle, and it's not even close. Spencer Brown could be the pick, obviously, but I think Samuel Cosmi fits much better in the Colts offense. I really like the pick here for the Colts, so that's one pick that if he's there, I'm really sold on. Then at number 22, the Titans. There's a lot of different places they can go here. They need corner help pretty bad, and Caleb Farley is right there. But I'm also feeling receiver for them pretty hardly. Wow. Jesus, it's like I say something like that every video. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm feeling very strongly, strongly about the Titans going a receiver at 22. And Elijah Moore is just such a fantastic fit. You instantly have the chemistry with him and A.J. Brown, obviously. So you give, a really nice double-headed monster with Josh Reynolds as the 3 there in Tennessee. And it's kind of like Adam Humphries and Corey Davis never left. So Elijah Moore, a guy that is going to go a lot higher than people think. And to number 22 to the Titans makes a lot of sense. Then at 23, the Jets have many, many different directions they can go here. I've gone Azeez Ojulari here before. I've gone running back. I've gone linebacker. And I am going to go linebacker again, but this time in J.O.K., who falls a bit in this draft, but is a very good fit on that Jets defense. Can play linebacker, can play safety, can play slot corner. Guess what they need? All of the above. So JOK makes a lot of sense here. Perhaps there's better players such as Azeez Ojulari, but I do really like JOK on that Jets defense. Then at number 24, we have the Steelers, and if Tevin Jenkins is here, they're taking him. I'm sold on that, just as sold as I'm on Samuel Cosmi to the Colts. If he's there, they may even trade up for him, honestly. If he's there, the Steelers are going to take him. I could see them moving up maybe to like 20 or 19 to solidify him. But in this case, he falls to him. And, Tevin Jenkins, the Steelers love their big offensive tackles. And there's no one bigger in this class other than Spencer Brown than Tevin Jenkins. So this is a pick that if he's there, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Tevin Jenkins. So, yeah, I really like that pick there for the Steelers, who need to rebuild their offensive line. Then the Jaguars at 25, and the Jaguars have many different directions they can go here. However, I think I would go with Trevon Moehrig, but the Browns are getting scared because he's already falling, but Christian Barmore is still somehow available here at 25, and I think they're going to be really scared of the Jags even potentially taking him. So we're going to have a quick little pick swap here with the Jaguars and the Browns. So in this case, the Browns are simply just going to give Jacksonville their third next year, so maybe a bit of value, but they move up one spot here and they take Christian Barmore. If you look at that Browns team, like I said about a week ago, there was only one hole on the entire roster, and that was like someone across from Myles Garrett. They signed Jadeveon Clowney, but then in turn released Sheldon Richardson, I think was his name, Richardson, their defensive tackle. That's now the one hole. And Christian Barmore is just such an incredible defensive tackle, an absolute monster. He's been the most consistent pass rusher in college football the last 2 years, and nobody's realized it. This is a dude that is freaky, and if somehow falls to 25, I think the Browns would definitely make sure to trade up and solidify him, give up a third, but there are not any holes on this roster at this point, and they are a scary, scary team. Christian Barmore and the Browns makes a lot of sense, and I love the pick. Jaguars, on the other hand, trade down one spot and still get their guy in Trevon Moehrig. Even if they weren't going to take Christian Barmore, they give the Browns enough of a scare to trade down, pick up a nice third-round pick next year, and still get arguably the best safety in this class. I would argue against that personally. If you want to see my safety rankings, go ahead and go look for those. But Trevon Moehrig, in most eyes, is the number one safety in the class. And I think the Jags would love to have this guy. I think he's a fantastic fit, and they need safety pretty badly, so they get a really nice pick here. Ravens at 27. Freshly trading Orlando Brown away would make this pick seem to be offensive line. However, being that before they pick again at 31, teams such as the Packers and Bills are going to select, could be very, very likely to take such an amazing pass rusher like Azeez Ojulari. And after losing Yannick Ngakoue and Matthew Judon, they could use a new outside linebacker threat. And Azeez Ojulari to the Ravens at 27 makes a lot of sense. I think he's a great fit on that defense, a game changer as well. He's my favorite outside linebacker in the class. So I think at 27, it makes a lot of sense, and they'll get an offensive lineman down here probably. Then at 28, we have the Saints, who, without trading up, get an amazing upside corner in Caleb Farley. Now, he falls here because, the injuries are very concerning, and the Saints do need a corner now. But they're still a very solid team, and they can take the risk on a guy like this because the reward is getting maybe the best corner in the NFL at 28. The risk, obviously, him being that the injuries overtake him, which we're all hoping they don't. I don't think they will personally, but Caleb Farley is an amazing corner. They need corner, and it's a risk we're taking as he does hold some of the most upside in the entire class. Then at 29, the Packers. Offensive wide receiver makes sense here for sure. I think Terrace Marshall, Kadarius Toney would both be great fits in this offense. Cornerback is also a need. They would have loved Caleb Farley to fall to them. But in this case, Jamin Davis is maybe the most athletic player in this entire draft class. They need linebacker pretty badly, and I think they would die to have a guy like Jamin Davis on that defense. And again, another great fit for that Packers defense. So I think it makes a lot of sense here, and wide receiver and corner obviously makes sense, but they can address those as they have much deeper classes in my opinion, and Jamin Davis makes a lot of sense here. Bills at number 30. Bills could go multiple different ways here, obviously. Maybe they want to pick up a corner like a Fitu Melifonwu. Maybe they want to pick a linebacker as well. Zaven Collins makes a lot of sense here. Maybe they want to go edge. Joseph Asai, Greg Rousseau, Jalen Phillips, all still here. A lot of different directions they can go. But a running back's going to go in the first round at some point, and we know it. And I think that's going to be Najee Harris to the Bills. Again, and I think he's a great fit with the Bills, but they could use an actual running back. Devin Singletary is not the most powerful guy, and Josh Allen can't do it all by himself. I think that run game is what will get them over the hump for a Super Bowl next year, and Najee Harris would be a big step towards that. Even if he's got the tread on his tires, they're looking to win now. So if he can perform now, it's great for them. I really like Najee Harris to the Bills. Then at 31, like I said earlier, the Ravens are going to pick up some O-line help here. And it could be a few different guys here, but I think Dylan Redunz makes the most sense here, especially when you look at the fact that he's protected Trey Lance, who is obviously a run-first quarterback for the last 4 years, I believe. going over there in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, he's doing the exact same thing. He's going to play the exact same game. The only concern is potentially moving from left tackle to right tackle. I don't see that being an issue for him, however. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's a great scheme fit. So Dillon Radunz to the Ravens is another pick that I feel very, very confident with. And then the Buccaneers with the last pick of the first round. They could also go running back. However, I feel like if anyone, you'd want to go with Najee Harris here. Him being gone, the only other hole I really see them addressing is an edge player. They didn't have someone across from Ndamukong Suh last year. They should probably get one this year. And there are 3 different guys they can take here. Jalen Phillips, super, super high upside. As long as he stays healthy, is going to be maybe the best player in this class. Gregory Rousseau, even higher upside. However, very, very boomer bust. And Joseph Asai makes sense, but I just don't think he's on the same level as these two. And between the two, I'm going to go with Jalen Phillips to end our first round. I think, it's a risk worth taking. Another team that, they're wanting to win right now. So even if the injuries don't keep him around long term, it doesn't matter if he's performing at top level right now to help them win another Super Bowl. So I think it makes a lot of sense here for the Buccaneers at 32. But that was the first round for my official final 2021 NFL mock draft. That was just round 1 of our full 5 rounds that we are doing. So if you want to stay tuned for that, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. 3 days to go. I will see you guys tomorrow with the 2nd and 3rd rounds. Here comes the draft, baby. Thank you guys for watching. I will see all you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.